Brahma continued telling to sage Narada, know that God himself as the supreme personality of Godhead. He is called Shiva and Shambhu. No one else can be his lord. The Ganga adorned his head. The moon shone on his forehead. He had 3 eyes, 5 faces, and 10 hands. He wore a trident. His complexion was as white as camphor. His entire body was covered with ashes. That Supreme Being, who was the embodiment of time, together with that energy created the realm called Shivaloka. That Shivaloka was considered the best Kashi Kshetra, being the greatest Moksha Bhumi that realm reigned above all. In that beautiful place, Kashi felt blissful, surrounded by the blissful forms of Shiva and Shakti. O Narada, since Shiva and Parvati always reside there, not leaving even during the time of flood, that Kashi Kshetra is called Avimukta. Since that place was blissful, Shiva first named it Anandavana. Then the name Avimukta came. O Narada, later while Shiva and Parvati were wandering in that blissful forest, they had a desire to create another one. Let us cast the burden on that man, and let us both remain in this city, freely roaming in the bliss of liberation. By my grace, may that man always create everything. May he foster everything. May he finally destroy everything. Having resolved to create a man with whose help we could both live happily in this blissful garden, free from diseases and attracting our minds, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having churned the ocean of the mind, which is made up of waves of thoughts, gems of the quality of goodness, wines of the quality of passion, and crocodiles of the quality of darkness, and thinking with that power, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, poured a stream of nectar into the limb of his left side. Then from the left side of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a man appeared whose beauty was unparalleled in the 3 worlds. He was very peaceful. The quality of goodness was predominant in him, and in majesty not even the ocean could compare with him. O Munindra, there was no comparison to him even in forgiveness. His dark body's radiance rivaled the brilliance of the sapphire, and he was pleasing with eyes as beautiful as a lotus. The fine clothes he wore and adorned were adorned with gold thread work. His long arms were very strong, not even a hint of defeat hovered near him. Then the man bowed down to the Supreme Lord Shiva and said, O Lord, what are my names? What is the work I should do? Hearing that, Lord Shankara smiled and said about that man in a voice as solemn as a cloud, since you are spread everywhere, your name will not only be known as Vishnu, but you will also have many other names that will bring happiness to your devotees. Saying with a firm mind, perform penance such that you become the supreme achiever in all your works. He taught Vishnu the Vedas through his breath. Then Vishnu bowed down to God and performed great penance. The Supreme Lord, who was shining with brilliance, also attained inner bliss there along with his power. Despite performing penance for 12,000 divine years, Vishnu did not get the darshana of Shiva, who would grant all his desired desires. Then Vishnu, filled with doubt and worry, thought of Shiva and wondered what he should do now. Meanwhile, the auspicious words were heard from Shiva with pleasure that I should perform penance again to remove this doubt. Hearing those words, Vishnu, with his mind fixed on the Supreme Brahma, meditated on him and performed severe penance for a long time. Then Vishnu, the man created by Shiva, awoke from meditation and with a happy mind wondered, what is that principle? Thus, from the limbs of Vishnu, who had become exhausted after a long penance, water began to flow in various forms by the magic of Shiva. O Maharshi, the entire region that was exposed to that water was covered. As soon as he touched it, that water which could destroy all sins became the form of Brahma. Then that man named Vishnu, being very tired, lay down on that water for a long time, lost in illusion. At that very moment, he was given the name Narayana as mentioned in the Vedas. The water born from Nara, that is from Purusha, became Nara. That Nara is the one who has the path as the path, Narayana. Thus, except Narayana, who was born from the power of Shiva, there was nothing else at that time. O Narada of vast intellect, in the meantime, by the will of that great man, the 24 principles arose. Listen, I will explain their order. Greatness arose from nature. From that greatness arose the qualities of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. From those three qualities, in turn, arose the three types of egos: Sattvic ego, Rajasic ego, and Tamasic ego. From that ego, the five tanmatras, namely sound, touch, form, taste, and odor, arose, and from them the five elements, namely sky, air, radiance, water, and earth. Then the five senses, namely the five physical senses, namely the voice, the eye, the tongue, and the sense of smell, arose. O sage, in this way it is understood what the principles are. Except for the one man, nature came first, and all the rest is inert. Prakriti, Mahatu, Gunas, Ahamkara, Tanmatras, Panchatagata, Gnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, these are all the 24 principles. By the will of Shiva, Narayana took all these and laid on that water which was the form of Brahma. Here in the Sri Shiva Mahapurana, the second Rudra Samhita, the first section of the Srishtupakyana, the sixth chapter on the origin of Vishnu ends. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.